ex-wife cheated on me, and my daughter is trying to salvage our relationship against my will. My name's Mr. Reddito, and today I have two stories for you that both include deceitfulness. If you don't know who I am, I read daily stories of some of the most entertaining, drama-filled stories on the whole World Wide Web. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and let's jump right into story number one. I'm a 50-year-old male, and I found out that my wife, who's 49 of 20 years, was having an affair. I was completely hurt over this and have started divorce proceedings. Obviously, this has been hard on our 4 children, but I cannot spend the rest of my life with someone I can't trust. Before we got married, my wife's family had money and demanded I signed a prenup. I had no problem, but since then, the family's money has been lost due to bad investments and lawsuits. My wife was a stay-at-home mom for the majority of our marriage. Our youngest child is 19. And because of the prenup, she cannot get alimony. In short, my wife will be screwed. The only thing we owned together was our house, and while it's paid off, my wife won't be able to afford the upkeep or HOA fees, so she will effectively be homeless. I have no intentions of giving her any type of support for any reason. Since serving my wife's divorce papers, I've refused direct contact as my lawyer has advised. But she's now playing dirty by getting the children involved. We have 2 boys, 23 and 21, and 2 girls, 25 and 19. And my wife has been pleading with them to get me to agree to halt the divorce proceedings in favor of counseling. After I told my children I had no interest wasting any more of my life with that woman, they have all essentially backed off except for my oldest, Christy. She's very close to her mother, and I can't imagine life where her parents aren't married. Christy tells me that her mother realizes her mistake and will do whatever it takes to make things right. She says that I owe it to the, quote, family to work things out. I refused and told her that it wasn't her place to make those kind of demands. Since then, the only time Christy talks to me is when she's sobbing and asking me not to destroy the family. I understand that this is hard for her and offered to pay for therapy so she can cope. But she said that there would not be anything to cope with if I was not trying to divorce her mother. Since Christy is being too emotional to act with reason and refuse therapy, I've been resolved to limited contact until after the divorce. However, my other children are saying that Christy's behavior is getting worse. Am I the a-hole for taking steps away from my daughter for a while? Just a quick update with some more information. I read a couple responses and here's some clarification. Number 1. Clearly my "she will effectively be homeless" comment was misinterpreted, so let me set the record straight. Because my wife and I own the house together, so long as we sell the house and split the proceeds, she'll get something. Number 2. My wife did not, quote, give up her career to, quote, raise my children. We could have hired a nanny, but she did not want that and chose to be a stay-at-home mom for our children. Because of her family money, she was getting a monthly allowance from the estate. Plus, I paid for a housekeeper to make things easy for her. Number 3. Once my wife reached 30, she started getting a monthly allowance from the family estate, and the prenup addressed that, so I could not claim half. In exchange, she could not get alimony. Number 4. I did not want my children to get involved in the divorce. My wife decided to do that and even brought up the reason why as a form of preemptive strike. I only talk about the divorce when someone else brings it up, which Christy wants to do all the time. Number 5. I'm not abandoning my daughter. I'm just lowering contact with her until the divorce is finalized, because she's not letting up on trying to pressure me into taking her mother back, and refuses to go to therapy that I will pay for. And number 6. Also, the comments asking why my wife cheated is a little offensive. I don't know how that changes anything or that I should care. However, the guy that she cheated on me was younger. Looked like he cannot be any older than 30, so take that information and do what you will. And one more final update for you guys. I just wanted to say I was very grateful to all your kind words and support, and how to deal with my daughter. I decided to follow some of your advice and have a scheduled sit down with her to explain what's going on between her mother and I. It's not her fault, and I simply can't ever go back to that woman who deceived me in such a big way. I told her that I try to be as forgiving and empathetic as possible, but I will not ever tolerate people who are liars with malicious and selfish intent, and try to cut them out of my personal life as much as possible. I was very calm when I said this and tried to be as loving as I could to my child, but it did not work. Christy ended up breaking down again, trying to convince me to not divorce her mother and just forgive her. I refused, and in the end went no contact with Christy for a little bit. I only spoke to her again 2 days before my daughter Jane's 20th birthday. It was a text message asking her not to bring up the divorce since this was going to be the first time my wife and I would be in each other's presence since I filed. I sent the same text to her mother, and I did not hear anything from either one. On Jane's birthday, things were a little tense and awkward, but I thought it was going good. Until my wife decided to be passive-aggressive with a speech about how good it is to have family together during important events. Everyone saw through her crap, and my son Jack, 23, called her out on it and said that she was selfish to bring this up on Jane's birthday. Christy started defending her mother, and Jane, understandably upset, revealed that the only reason Christy was on their mother's side for reconciliation was because she did not want the fact that she not only knew about the affair, but helped her mother cover it up. There was a big fight that was not going to get resolved right then and there. I ended up leaving and was even more heartbroken all over again. Not only did my wife betray me, but my own daughter too. I knew she was closer to her mother than me, and I was okay with this. But now? I don't know what I did to make my eldest daughter so disloyal to me. But I'm now resolved to go full no contact with her until after the divorce, and possibly for the rest of my life. Guys, this was an incredibly tough story at first. I felt really bad for Christy, then I realized I shouldn't feel so bad for her. She knew about it the entire time. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comment section down below. It's very unfortunate that this all had to unfold on the birthday of one of the children, but at the same time, I think this family needs some sort of counseling or some way to cover their grief. Let me know exactly how you would handle this situation. Our next story on the day is another story of deceitfulness that involves a mother and a father and a daughter and a daughter's friend. Guys, let's get right into story number 2. My friend Susie and her family moved to our town almost 3 years ago. I've always been into sports, and Susie matched my enthusiasm for them, so we became good friends. Our moms met through us and became good friends too. My dad got promoted to a different location a few years ago, so he spends alternating months with us. He lives with us for a month and away from us for another. We got used to that arrangement. Mom used to be lonely, but after she met Susie's mom, they became best friends. I was thrilled that she had a friend. But a couple months ago, I noticed that both our moms had been disappearing sometimes after the practice started. I did not think much about it, but last week, we left out for practice early, and when I came out, I saw them kissing in the back of the car. I hid immediately, and they did not see me. I've started paying attention to their relationship after that, and they seem too close. I think they're having an affair. Susie's dad died before they moved here, so she's a single mom. What do I do about my mom? Do I confront her? Should I get more proof? Should I tell my dad? It's been eating at me for a while, and I don't know what to do. Here's an update. I just waited a few days before I talked to my mom. I was very nervous. When I asked her if she was having an affair with Susie's mom, she started laughing. I was very surprised by her reaction. She video called my dad and told him about what I just asked. They smiled at me and told me that my dad knew about it. She told me that she was tired of hiding it and it was happy that I found out. I wanted to know more about how they got together, so she explained this. Apparently, Mom used to have girlfriends before she married, and my dad knew about it. Half a year ago, she was drinking and talking with Susie's mom. Susie's mom told her about her previous relationships with women. They kissed that night, but my mom felt guilty about it and told my dad. My dad had always felt guilty about leaving us alone for so long. They talked and came up with an arrangement where she and Susie's mom could be intimate while Dad was away. The only reason they did not tell me was because they were nervous about how I would react to their unconventional relationship. I told him I was happy as long as they were happy with their relationship. They wanted to know how Susie would react, so they asked me if I would tell her. I told them I'd try to find out. Several comments indicated this was the case, but it still surprised me. I'm happy that my mom found a partner since she felt lonely whenever my dad had to leave. Thanks to everyone who offered advice. Wow, that would be a bombshell of a news for a kid who just seemingly ends practice, walks out to the car, and sees her mother making out with another mom. Her best friend's mom, in fact. She thinks she caught her mom red-handed and she has to get it off her chest, only to find out that it's okay. The dad knew about it the whole time and they're in an open relationship. Well, at the end of the day, as long as they're happy, that's what matters. And I'm glad that OP's mom doesn't have to feel lonely since OP's father is always away on business trips. It seems she found a way to cope. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comment section down below. How would you break the news to your kid you're in an open relationship if they caught you kissing their best friend's mom? My name's Mr. Reddito, and that's all the stories I have for you today. I hope everyone has an amazing night. I'll catch you in tomorrow's stories.